Thanks for joining us for another edition of The Small Business Show with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Hello everyone, I'm Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for tuning in to another edition of The Small Business Show right here at ASBN.com. Millions of Americans received stimulus checks from the government in 2020, but for Ellie Diop, the check was an investment that helped start and scale her company to multiple seven figures. On today's show, we're joined by Ellie, the founder of Ellie Talks Money and the CEO and founder of Elevated Academy, to walk us through her entrepreneurial journey and advice for others that are thinking about making that leap into becoming their own boss. So Ellie, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Very much appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me today. I am very excited to come and speak with the audience and share with them a little bit about my business journey and how they can achieve success as well.
Great, great. So tell us a little bit about your journey before we get started into what your company does, and what were you doing before you decided to become an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. So my journey to entrepreneurship is definitely unique. I started my business in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic, as you shared. And before starting my business, I have always worked in finance. So I was director of sales for a small startup company in Los Angeles, California, where I got a lot of experience in business and finance and marketing, but I got laid off, right? Like so many Americans did.
Yeah.
And I applied to over 55 jobs hoping to get hired again. But during that period of time, no one was hiring.
Right.
And so I realized, you know what, this must be an opportunity and a moment for me to take the stimulus check that's on the way. I needed money at that time, but I said, this can be the opportunity to take what I already know how to do. I already understand finance. I already know business. I already understand sales, and apply it to my own business as a consultant. So that was really how I started this business. I looked at what could other people in the marketplace need that I could provide them based on my own knowledge. And now it's become this, online school where I create courses and master classes educating other business owners on some of these same strategies.
That is fantastic. Well, congratulations on making that leap and all of the success you've had thus far. I know the company is obviously just a few years old, but it sounds like you're off to a great start. Let me ask you this question: What in your background prepared you for this business opportunity and owning your own business?
I would definitely say that having the experience of working in a startup environment, I knew what I was going to need in order to start up my own company. And, what's unique about my experience is that a lot of new business owners don't always have that insight into how to market your business, how to get funding for your business, how to, essentially create a business plan for your business.
That's right.
So that's a large part of what I educate my audience on now, who are small business owners. They are aspiring business owners. I'm showing them, if you want to create a long-lasting company, if you want to create a seven-figure business, here are some key ways to market, especially using social media. Here's how you should go about getting funding and capital. For women-owned businesses and entrepreneurs of color, funding is the hardest element for us, right? Typically, many business owners are missing that link. So that's a huge part of what we pride ourselves on at the Academy. My business is educating them on how they can get funding, how they can get capital, so they can have the resources they need to actually scale.
That's right.
Because that is typically.
And if they have that knowledge, there actually are a lot of avenues to go, right, to find that money.
There's so many. I mean, there are small business grants. There are tons of business credit opportunities. There are amazing CDFIs, which are community development financial institutions that specifically provide funding and financing to minority-owned businesses. So it's really about kind of closing that gap and making sure that they understand that what you need is right here. Here's what you need to do to actually go and get it. So something I also educate my audience on is much of the time, what you need to go and create the business, you already have your past work experience, your life experience. You can take that same, those same ingredients and materials and create a business from that. It's just about finding who needs what you know how to do. And that is the connection.
Boy, there's no question about it. And of course, through social media. I know that you're a big proponent of companies and small business owners using social media to promote themselves and their services and products on social media, right? Talk to us about that.
Yes. I mean, I believe that now the playing field has really leveled, right? Starting a business 40 years ago is much different than starting a business now.
That's
because
right. Good point.
you can create videos on social media, on TikTok,
Yeah.
on Instagram, on YouTube, and one viral video, 100,000 or a million views, can completely launch your business.
That's right.
And for me personally, I started this business on social media, and that is how it has become a multi-seven-figure business, is through
Wow.
Instagram, through YouTube, and through TikTok.
Yeah.
So I always tell my audience, there's one part of your business you cannot ignore, and that is your marketing, and specifically your social media marketing.
That's right.
So the more you're creating video content, 2 posts a day, 3 posts a day, you are, increasing the odds of which you actually get viewed by people all over the world.
Yeah.
And everyone, if people can see your product, then they can actually buy your product. So your focus is making sure that they see your product.
That's right.
On
That's right.
social media.
And you get an opportunity to share your personality and your beliefs and your including your image. So people will identify with that and say, I really like Ellie. I feel like we connect. We're on the same wavelength here, and I feel like I want to do business with her, right?
Absolutely. That's really a huge advantage that we have with social media, is not only can people fall in love with your product, but they can also fall in love with you as the brand.
That's right.
And we've seen many, influencers, if you will, create skincare lines, clothing lines, all different businesses, simply because of how much people connect with them.
That's right.
And so knowing that we have that opportunity, social media marketing is just an area of business that we cannot ignore.
That's right.
And when companies understand how to use it really wisely, that can really be the difference between a 5-figure and 7-figure business right there.
That's right. That's right. So what specifically, how can you help small business owners? Tell us a little bit about Ellie Talks Money.
Absolutely. So through Ellie Talks Money and our brands, which are Elevated Academy, our online business school, and Mommy to Millionaire, which is another vertical of the business, we educate business owners on how they can start their online business, specifically creating digital products to help them generate passive income.
Okay.
How they're going to get funding for their business so that they're able to scale.
You're turnkey for entrepreneurs.
Oh yes, it's all here. And once we educate them on how to get funding, the final step of our, coaching, or what we offer in the program, is educating them on how to build wealth. So I'm a really big proponent of educating business owners on having a trust fund, having life insurance, having investment accounts, because my goal is to create more 6 and 7-figure earners, of course, but the larger goal is to really help them build wealth.
Right.
Something we see happening a lot in the Black community specifically is that any wealth that's built is typically gone by the 2nd or 3rd generation. And so the more we can, meet business and entrepreneurship along with wealth building strategies, then this money that they're making can actually go to benefit their children, their grandchildren, and beyond.
That's right.
So that is how we help business owners in those 3 key areas.
That's fantastic. As I said, it's kind of a turnkey opportunity for entrepreneurs. Certainly ones that are listening right now are probably going to want to reach out to you and say, take me on as a client. I want to go to the next level, or I want to start my own business, and you can guide me through and navigate me through the through the waters of opening up a business. And to your point, creating real wealth, not just a good income, but creating real long-lasting wealth, which is the key to it all, right? What advice would you have? What advice would you have to others, maybe that are listening to you right now, that are thinking about opening up a business and being successful like you?
Absolutely. I think the first piece of advice, and probably the best piece of advice I would give, is to make a list about your own skills and your own skills and opportunities. And I call this kind of brain dumping. So whenever I'm taking on a client or have my first call with someone, I typically ask them, what is something that people always ask you for advice on? What are your friends, family, coworkers, people that you know, what are they always asking you for advice on? What is that 2 or 3 things? Because typically, if you are trusted enough to give free advice to someone in a particular area, you are also qualified to put a price tag on that advice and turn it into a business.
That's right.
So I really would want everyone listening to realize that the business you want to start is, again, probably made up of things you already know, skills you already have, things you're already doing. So make that list and then you pull a business out from there. My goal is to always create more access to entrepreneurship. And many people are like I was. I only had $1,000 to get started. Some people
$1,000. People hear that and go, what can you possibly do with $1,000, right?
I know. But, you know, truly now you can take your 1,000, create a website, form your business entity.
That's right.
Look at your list of what you know how to do, create a digital product that explains and teaches what you know how to do, and focus your energy on marketing on social media for free. And now you will find yourself looking at a 5-figure, 6-figure, 7-figure business.
That is so true. You know, it's funny just to listen to you talk about that and what you've done with $1,000. It actually sounds so easy. You know, because all those things you actually can do. You can start an LLC, it costs you a couple $100. You can find somebody that'll help you with a website that might cost you $500 to get started. And then, of course, to get started in social media, it really costs you nothing. It costs you a little bit of time each day. And so theoretically, you kind of, you know, put that in a nice package of $1,000 that you got, you know, from your stimulus check. But it can be done. It's really up to the individual to make that happen. So for those people that are listening, it goes, well, I don't have enough money, or I don't have the contacts, or, you know, I don't know where to start. You do know where to start. You have the answers. You know, you've got Ellie here waiting for your call, or I should say your connection on social media. And, and you can literally start for as little as $1,000. The whole thing is getting started, right? That's the big thing. That's the toughest thing.
That's the big thing, getting started and then staying consistent. You know, a huge part of it is the starting and then staying in it, right? Sometimes I remember in my business for the first 4 or 5 months, I didn't make any money. And I was like, oh God, is this going to work? But when you get over that hump, that's when you really see it starting to work. So I definitely invite everyone listening to come to my page, enroll in one of my free classes, and let me show you a little bit more about what we can do for your business.
Absolutely. There you go. You got a free offer. We're going to show all the information on the screen here to connect with Ellie. Take her up on her offer. What have you got to lose? I mean, it's a free offer. She has already done it, folks. This is an opportunity that you don't want to pass up. If you're thinking about jumping into your own business and you don't have a lot of money and you need some direction, you need some guidance, maybe some hand-holding along the way, here is the solution right here. This is what we want to be bringing you at ASBN. So, Ellie, thank you so much for joining us. We very much appreciate it. It's Ellie Talks Money, business coach, financial strategist, speaker. I know we're going to be coming back to you one day and you'll be in the front of Forbes magazine. So
come on now, let's go.
Thanks so much. Congratulations on all your success. And we would love to do a follow-up with you to see how things are moving along.
We will. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of The Small Business Show with Jim Fitzpatrick. This has been a JBF Business Media production.